The peaceful transfer of power is a cornerstone of American democracy. But between one presidential administration and the next lies a monumental security operation.
This is the largest national special security event that we have put on in our country's history.
Being here during the inauguration, we have a job to do, 24/7, and our main priority is to make sure that the airspace is secure and safe.
Security for the inauguration falls into two categories: the highly visible elements designed for the public to see, and everything else that happens behind closed doors.
We want to be seen, but not to be seen.
For the next 36 hours, I'm getting a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pull back the curtain on everything it takes to secure the peaceful transfer of power. It all leads up to Inauguration Day, when the Secret Service escorts us underground for exclusive access to the presidential limousines, while the president is on stage just a few feet away. My name is Naveed Jamali. I'm a journalist, a veteran, and a former spy. On Unconventional, it is my honor to witness the passing of the torch, to tell the stories of the women and men who serve in a changing world, and a military balancing tradition and change. Securing the inauguration is an intricate operation with the Secret Service overseeing a network of local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, and the Department of Defense, which brings us to our first stop after the 5-hour drive from New York City. We're here at Joint Base Andrews, America's airfield and home of Air Force One, for day one at a behind-the-scenes look at the presidential inauguration. So let's go check it out.
Behind me is the F-16. Most people call it the Viper or F-16 Falcon, and this is our multi-capable fighter. This is what we maintain for 24/7, 365 days operations to protect the capital region.
Airmen at this alert facility protect the DC airspace from threats 24/7, 365.
So during President Trump's inauguration, we are going to be on the watch, on call, watching the radar, making sure that there's nothing in our airspace.
While we can't show this up close, these F-16s are armed. The tactical aircraft and the people who support and fly them are critical to protecting the airspace. But on the ground, these highly trained pups and their handlers play a key role.
We are here to support the Secret Service on any presidential missions, former presidential missions, VPOTUS missions.
Lopez's canine, Nero, is dual-purpose certified, meaning he can go out on patrol and search for unauthorized substances.
Explosive detection canines, they find something, they call us. So we'll go out with our robot. He's kind of scanning around, making sure the path that maybe I'm gonna walk down at some point in a bomb suit is clear, because we know there's one hazard down there right now. Once he's found it, we'll be in talks with whatever supporting agency we're working with right now, and then we will start to converse back and forth of like a plan of attack.
Just as we leave Andrews Air Force Base to see how things are coming together downtown, the weekend is turned on its head. So in a little bit of real life, we just found out that the inauguration that was scheduled to be outside is now being moved inside. What that means for the things we're scheduled to cover, we're not quite sure. The people that we're covering are trying to figure it out, and we are too. What I do know is we'll be there, whether it's inside or outside, whether it's 10 degrees. There's an old military saying that no plan survives first contact. The way to mitigate that is to communicate critical information in real time, which is the purpose of the Metropolitan Police Department's Joint Operation Command, or JOC.
This is really the hub of information for MPD. So here behind me, you'll see representatives from our federal partners, Park Police, Capitol Police, Secret Service, MPD members as well, investigators, officers. We have representation from the military as well here. Pretty much all city services. Among the partners the MPD is coordinating with are 3,000 additional police officers from across the country who are temporarily sworn into the department for an all-hands-on-deck weekend.
So help me God.
The biggest challenge in securing an event like this is manpower. We've got several thousand people that are going to be here. I mean, this is a historic moment, so incredibly proud and honored to be a part of this.
Washington, D.C. sits at the convergence of the Potomac and Anacostia rivers. To mitigate water-based security threats, over 300 Coast Guard personnel and 20 boats are supporting the inauguration. So I'm heading out on the water to see how they patrol this security zone. It's already below freezing on land, and it will probably feel 10 degrees colder out on the water. So first things first, we have to bundle up.
All right.
Coast Guard Station, Washington. How cold do you think the water is right now?
Definitely below 40.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing ice, right?
Yeah.
We're pretty well bundled, and you can still feel the cold cut through you.
It's important to have a Coast Guard presence out here to make sure that there's no threats on the water side, protection for this inauguration. This is a very important part of the puzzle, a big puzzle to keep the inauguration safe.
Is that an eagle? Oh yeah, America! After patrolling the frigid Potomac with the Coast Guard, we're catching a flight with the MPD.
This is a Airbus H-125.
What does the DC police use this helicopter for?
We're generally surveillance, whether it's a police chase or if we're search and rescue, looking for missing people or bad guys. We're going to take off from South Capitol Street here. We're going to take Route 1, follows the river up. We're going to go up past all the monuments. So first one's Jefferson and then Lincoln. We'll wrap around to the north side of the prohibited airspace, which encompasses the White House and the Capitol building.
And Jock Radio, can you give an estimate on this march here, crowd size?
The MPD expects both protesters and counter-protesters. So flying above the city allows them to get to situations quickly and monitor them discreetly.
Why is it important to monitor the protests?
A couple of reasons. One's command and control, one's documentation, and one's to make sure that the whole event's safe.
That helicopter allows us to really leverage their technology to our benefit and to the benefit of the public that's protesting or engaging in any First Amendment activity. It's very important to see a full scope of what's happening when you have thousands and thousands of people marching in pretty tight quarters in very cold weather.
The Jock is dealing with a lot of sensitive information this weekend, so we can't show exactly what's on these screens. But they give officers a real-time look not only at crowd movement and incident locations, but also troop and officer movements.
So basically you'll see mapping of the incident locations, where certain roadblocks exist, where our troops are at this time, where our officers are, where they're moving.
The best part about the motor unit is the access point. We are able to be from point A to point B extremely fast versus the vehicles.
In the case of an active threat, the Capitol Police Motor Unit worked with a rapid response team. Together, the two groups are uniquely flexible and able to maneuver through the Capitol efficiently for a full coverage approach.
Rapid response team, it's a unit that's comprised of 20 mountain bike trained officers. So being on a bike, we can get to places that cars and maybe some motorcycles can't get to, like alleyways or through some of the security bollards. We can go upstairs, we can go downstairs. A motorcycle or a vehicle is not going to be able to do that, but the mountain bike can do it.
Despite the massive change of moving the inauguration inside, everyone we speak to is calm, professional, and ready for the big day. After all this preparation, it's now game day, Inauguration Day. And this is what we came here for.
So we're going to go through the security, head to Union Station. First stop is to see the Secret Service clear Union Station.
Especially for an event such as this, a National Special Security event, or what we would call an NSSE, this is designated as the highest level security site.
Union Station is a top priority because it will host the president and other VIPs at the Starlight Ball after the inauguration.
Before the protector gets here, there are long days where we are behind the scenes securing the site, securing different avenues and different venues to ensure that we can provide that safe and secure environment.
And all that planning, all that preparation,
comes down to this moment.
100%.
Even though the venue is inside a guarded perimeter, the Secret Service still has to perform an interior security sweep, physically checking each room. Once they clear it, agents post watch to ensure each area remains secure. And none of this could happen without a keen sense of smell.
This is Tygo. He's a 4-year-old Dutch Shepherd, and we're here to perform a screening for explosive devices. Wherever the protectees will be going, we'll be pre-screening with the K-9 and an explosive ordnance division team of the military.
And why is it so important to use a K-9 to do the screening?
We rely on the K-9's sense of smell to sniff out these explosive odors that he's trained to detect.
Anywhere the president is going tonight, Tygo or another K-9 is going first.
It's been a dream job. It's been an enjoyable job. And like I said, this is his first inauguration, and he's a great explosive detection dog.
And it's the first inauguration for another group too, the Space Force. Its honor guard is escorting the presidential motorcade from the Capitol to the White House.
I think it's really amazing that we can show everyone we do a lot for our country.
While some of these preparations are taking place behind closed doors, other protective protocols serve as a more visible deterrent for the public.
We want them to know that this is a safe environment, that we have screened you, that we have ensured that for our mission, it's a zero-fail mission, we are trying to ensure our guests that you coming in here and that you know that no one has a weapon or that's some sort of prohibited item that shouldn't have gotten through.
And what is the primary mode that you, or the primary piece of equipment you're using here?
So you'll see walk-through metal detectors. You typically see this at the airport. That's what people are most familiar with. And as you see, we have TSOs, transportation safety officers, because TSA helps us out. We work with our law enforcement partners. So when people see them, they all think, oh, they already know they got to divest of other items.
So is pre-check going to get us faster through here?
You know what? You would think pre-check would get you in faster. I don't know. You can try that at the White House, see how far it gets you.
Pre-check didn't get us in any faster, but we did clear security, parting from the crowds just in time for the president-elect's arrival. This is the moment the Secret Service has been meticulously planning for.
We've taken over many months, 9 months, to plan this. We look at every aspect of the day, every aspect of the weather and the security that goes on. We collaborate with our partners. We would not be able to do this without our partners.
Why is it important to have such an intricate network of procedures and people in place at an event like this for the inauguration?
It takes a lot of effort to make it feel like it's a normal day and make sure that it's a secure day.
You talk about partners, you talk about the complexity, but ultimately, who is responsible for the safety of this event?
In the end, it's the Secret Service who takes full responsibility for everything that goes on.
During the inauguration, that means protecting the venue, inside and out. To get to one of the most closely guarded places in the world, we walk past a quarter-mile-long line of Secret Service vehicles. And as we get to the building to go underground, we're told to shut off the cameras.
We're in Capital One Arena. This is the site of the inauguration. At some point, the president's going to come in, going to get into the parade limousines, these vehicles we see here, and we'll leave the arena.
The presidential limousine, commonly known as the Beast, is the official presidential state car. It's highly classified and highly sophisticated, with an array of advanced protective measures. It might look like the Cadillac you can buy off the showroom floor, but it's not. Just like the super secret B-2 stealth bomber or America's most powerful nuclear missile, we're seeing the Beast in a way that few ever will. But since this is the vehicle that protects the leader of the free world, the security surrounding it was extraordinary, and we could only film certain angles approved by the Secret Service. As the president is speaking to the crowds overhead, these presidential limousines are standing by for the moment he exits and ready to remove him from any danger that may arise, quickly and safely.
It is a successful day when the president comes and goes safely, but more importantly, for an event like this, the National Special Security event, it is our charge and our duty to make sure that everyone who shows up goes home safe.
Regardless of age, rank, or agency, the sense of patriotism and purpose is undeniable.
To know that I was an integral, direct part of the peaceful transfer of power and the events that happened this day and the last inauguration and the one before that, and many to come. It's an immense sense of pride.
It feels like such a big role that I'm there actually doing something bigger than myself, and providing that type of security and making sure that both my canine is safe, I'm safe, and everybody else around me is safe.
It's like living history, right? I mean, you're dealing with the Dalai Lama to the presidents, to generals. It's an amazing job.
To see the peaceful transition of power, to see my peers, as well as all other law enforcement officers, just get together and ensure that this is where democracy, where you have folks come in and see the person they voted for, celebrate them.
Yeah.
We can ensure that safely. I think that's a win for me.
Despite all the twists and turns, the Secret Service successfully oversaw the most important peaceful transfer of power in the world. Everything we saw worked as it was designed to, whether the public could see it happening or not. And it strikes me that whoever the next president will be, this process that has been in place for over a century for Republican and Democratic administrations will remain. And in the end, isn't that what America's about? Americans who generation after generation take the same oath of office as those who came before them, to uphold the principles of our republic and support and defend the Constitution of these United States.